Zoe invests $5,000 when she's 22, never touches it again. Robert waits. At 42, he invests $50,000, 10 times as much. You'd think Robert wins easily, 10 times the cash in. He doesn't. By 65, Robert ends up with less than 3 times what Zoe has. 10 times the investment, not even 3 times the result. That's not a typo. That's what 20 years of waiting actually costs you. And today, I'm going to show you exactly why, with real math, not vibes. The problem. Here's the lie most 22-year-olds tell themselves. I'll start investing when I make more money. Sounds responsible. It's actually the most expensive sentence in personal finance. Because the thing people get wrong isn't how much they invest, it's when. Most people treat investing like saving for a couch. Wait until you have enough, then buy it. But investing doesn't work like that. Investing is time turned into money, and time is the one thing you cannot buy back at 42. The problem continued. Let's put a number on waiting. Every year you delay investing in your 20s, you're not just losing a year, you're losing the compounding on that year for the rest of your life. $1 invested at 22 has roughly 40 plus years to grow. $1 invested at 42 has maybe 20. Same dollar, half the runway. And because growth compounds, meaning your gains start earning their own gains, losing half the runway doesn't cost you half the result. It costs you way more than half. That's the part nobody explains. Let's fix that. The reframe. Stop thinking about investing as putting money away. Stop thinking about it as hiring your money to work a job. The job is compounding. And like any job, the longer someone works it, the more they produce. A 22-year-old's $5,000 doesn't just sit there for 43 years. It works for 43 years. It multiplies, and then the multiplied amount multiplies again, and again, year after year. A 42-year-old's $50,000 also works. It's a much bigger snowball to start, but it only gets 23 years rolling downhill instead of 43. Less than half the time to gather size. The reframe continued. Here's the myth bust. People assume amount invested is the main variable. It's not. Time in the market is the dominant variable. It's the one multiplying everything else. That's why a small amount invested early can hold its own against a much larger amount invested late. Not because $5,000 is secretly bigger than $50,000. It's because $5,000 gets 20 extra years of compounding that $50,000 never gets back. Let's run the actual numbers. No hand-waving. Real math. Real math, part 1. We'll use 8% average annual return. A conservative, realistic, long-term average for a diversified index fund. Same assumption we've used in past videos on this channel. Zoe invests $5,000 once at age 22. She never adds another dollar. She lets it ride until she's 65. 43 years of growth. That $5,000 becomes $136,700. She turned $5,000 into a multiple of 27 times her original money without ever touching it again. Robert invests $50,000 once at age 42. 10 times what Zoe put in. He also lets it ride until 65, but he only gets 23 years. That becomes $293,700. Robert's number is bigger. He did put in 10 times the money after all. But look at the multiplier. His $50,000 only grew about 5.9 times over. Zoe's grew 27 times over. Real math part 2. Robert invested 10 times more money than Zoe. He ended up with barely over 2 times her final balance. That's the cost of the 20 years he waited. Not a rounding error, not a small gap. A structural mathematical disadvantage that no amount of investing more later fully erases. Here's the number that should really bother you. To end up with what Zoe has, using only the 23 years Robert had, he would have needed to invest roughly $23,000 at 42. Not $5,000, not even $50,000. But that's the break-even amount just to match her. Every year he waits past 22, raises that break-even number. Waiting isn't neutral. Waiting has a price tag, and the price tag grows every single year. Practical application part 1. Okay, so what do you actually do with this? First, stop waiting for the right amount. There isn't one. $5,000 isn't a magic number. It's just the example. If you have $500, invest $500. If you have $50, invest $50. The exact figure matters far less than starting the clock. Every year you delay is a year you can never buy back, no matter how much you make later. Second, use tax-advantaged accounts first. A Roth IRA is the obvious move in your 20s. You contribute after-tax dollars now, when you're likely in a lower tax bracket than you will be at 42, and it grows completely tax-free for decades. That 43-year runway we just calculated, do it inside a Roth, and every dollar of that $136,700 is yours, tax-free. Not a cent to the IRS on withdrawal. Practical application, part 2. Third, automate it so willpower isn't required. You don't need discipline if the money moves before you see it. Set up an automatic transfer, even $100 a month, into a low-cost S&P 500 index fund the day you get paid. That single decision, made once, is worth more than 100 good decisions made later. Run that same math on $100 a month instead of a lump sum, and the gap between starting at 22 and starting at 42 tells the same story. The early contributor ends up with dramatically more, dollar for dollar, than the late one. Time is still doing the heavy lifting. Fourth, if you're already in your 30s or 40s, don't spiral. Just adjust the number, not the excuse. You can't get the 43-year runway back, but you can raise your contribution to compensate. Starting today, instead of starting next year, the break-even number only gets bigger the longer you wait. So the best time to close the gap is right now, not when things settle down. Robert didn't lose because he made bad choices. He lost 20 years, and in this game, 20 years is worth more than 10 times the money. Your 20s were never about having the most money to invest. They were about having the most time for that money to work. Use it. Next time, we're breaking down how to actually hit your first $100,000, the number where compounding starts doing more work than you do. I'm Nick. I'll see you in the next one.